Welcome back to another Rs3 guide. On screen now is the gear and inventory you'll need along with the aura used to kill this boss. You don't need a whole lot and the fight is pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Before you start the encounter, you'll want to stand near any of the 2 crystals shown on screen now. I normally stand near number 2 since I follow the same path every kill. Once you're next to the crystal, go ahead and speak to the NPC that's in the middle of both crystals. Once you've started the encounter, start mining until you collect 25 to 30 moonstone fragments. Once you've done that, you'll want to bladed dive into box 1 and surge into box 2. Once you're standing in box 2, begin to repair the moonstone conduit. However, be sure not to pass the stairs, otherwise you'll have to deal with other mechanics. Once you see the rocks fly in, you can start the siphon and mine them. On screen now, I put a box around the one you'll want to save for later. Once you begin the siphon, a yellow bar will start to fill up, and once that yellow bar is full, it means that a mechanic will be happening. So up here on screen now, I've boxed the yellow bar. Once that bar is full, it means that another mechanic is about to happen. Above the yellow bar is a blue bar showing barrier strength. As long as you're behind the conduits, you'll be safe. Make sure the barrier strength stays above 30%. You'll only need to repair it twice if you do this the safe way. On screen now is an example of what I mean by staying behind the conduit. Once you fully siphon the rock, you'll have to click on it again to start mining it. Once you fully depleted the rock, move on to the next one. If you follow my lead, I'll show you each rock you need in order to get the kill in the safest way I know how. Once the first rock is depleted and the first mechanic is released, it'll hit you for a big hit. If you have barrier strength, you're looking at only 1,800. Without barrier strength, you're looking to be hit around 6k. After the big hit, the yellow bar will start to charge up again. Once the bar is full, the second mechanic will begin. For the second mechanic, blue boxes will appear. If you are inside the blue box, use bladed dive to get out of it. If you fail to bladed dive fast enough, you'll get hit and bladed dive will not be off cooldown for the second time. If you bladed dive on time, it'll reset your bladed dive and you can do it again for the second box. Now, if you don't get in the blue box, then you stay where you are and continue doing what you're doing. On screen now is an example of what I mean by bladed diving out of the blue box. I was very fortunate on this kill and did not get a second blue box spawn on top of me. However, if you get both blue boxes, do your best to avoid getting hit, otherwise you can die and you'll have to start over. For the third mechanic, all you have to do is kill the familiar that shows up. In order to kill it, you'll need moonstone fragments. You should have plenty of them if you do exactly what I'm doing. But if you messed up and you need more, it's okay because you can mine more from the crystals you stood at before starting the fight. Once you've dealt with this third mechanic, the mechanics will start to repeat themselves. You'll take the big hit, then the blue boxes will spawn again. Remember, do these rocks in the order that I've done them in, and by the time you finish the third rock, you'll be ready to attack the boss for the first cycle. This fight will be an easy 2 cycle. If you hover over the rock, it shows you how much damage you can do with what you're currently holding. On screen now is the amount of damage you can do to the boss with the amount of rocks that you're holding. Once you fully depleted the 3 rocks I've shown you, click your extra action button. This will depend on where you have your extra action button positioned. On screen now is an example of where mine is. Once you press the button, you'll have a few seconds before the boss will spawn 4 stepping stones. Be sure not to stand past the stairs until they spawn because if one of them lands on you, you can get tossed back and this will slow you down. Go from the lowest one to the highest one. Click the boss after you reach the 4th one. You are timed on this, so be quick. If you don't do this fast enough, the stepping stones will explode, and because I'm showing you the no food method, you'll most likely need to start over. If you did it really fast, you'll get a 25% damage increase. If you did it slow, you'll only get 15. Once you hit the boss for the first cycle, bladed dive and then surge and run into the green bubble if you're not in it already. On screen now is an example of that green bubble. Once you are inside the green bubble, be sure to start depleting the rock that I told you to save for later. While you're doing this, as long as you're in the green bubble, you'll get hit for a big hit and you'll survive. You'll get healed shortly after. However, once the green bubble is down, the yellow bar will start to charge up again. Go repair one of the conduits past 30% and then continue farming the rock. Remember, if you are not inside the green bubble, you will die and you will need to start over. Also, another friendly reminder, you need to be behind the conduit when the big hit happens. So charge up the conduit and go back to farming and doing what you were doing. You'll get hit for the big hit, just like in the beginning. And then after the big hit, when the bar is charged again, we go back to the blue boxes. Remember, once you get the blue boxes, what you want to do is bladed dive outside of the box, let the bomb go off, and then bladed dive when the second box comes up again. On the screen now is an example of me doing the boxes all over again. I bladed dive, I go in, I bladed dive again for the second one, go back in and finish my job. Now remember, the third mechanic is the summon. You have to have moonstone fragments in order to kill it, and if you don't kill it fast enough, it'll continue healing the boss, and we don't want to see that. So just go ahead and finish mining until you have enough rocks that will damage the boss. Remember to hover over to see how much damage you have. Once you have enough, click the extraction button again and go ahead and do the same thing all over again. Wait for the steps, go up the steps, and kill the boss. Once you've done this with a second cycle, you will have done it. Congratulations, you've gotten your first kill. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope this helps. Peace.